What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel. Now before we get into this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, guys, we are 21 subs away from 200. We are drawing closer and closer and closer to the goal of 200. I know we can do it. 200 subs by the time the summer comes to a close, which I think should be, what, right around like mid-September to like maybe early October. So we can still do it. We can still pull it off, guys. 200 subs by the end of the summer. And as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does indeed get to 200 subs, I will open up this Korean Strike of Neos booster box in its entirety on the channel. On the host to potentially pull this guy, Elemental Hero Air Neos, the so-called forbidden Yu-Gi-Oh card. Is it really forbidden? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. If this channel gets to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician, Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia. The possibilities are out there, guys. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners over at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull my second ever Collector's Rare, because I pulled another Collector's Rare from a different set, Genesis Impact, and I pulled this. A Collector's Rare B-Cop from the Underworld. It is stunning, absolutely beautiful. I will be getting this graded at some point. Don't really know when, though. But with that said, guys, if you guys want to see these boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue. Maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue. Deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys have not done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and be sure to follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this. Which WWE superstar do you think was the highlight of the whole night? As in, who was the best superstar of Money in the Bank? Let me know down in the comments below, because for this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, the fallout of Money in the Bank has left us with even more questions than answers than ever before, including the biggest question of them all is, what will the Usos do next now that Jey Uso pinned Roman Reigns? Spoiler alert, yes, it actually did happen. And another question as well is what's next for Ronda Rousey after what Shayna Baszler did, which we will talk about in today's video. So for this week's episode, I'm actually going to be giving a full in-depth review of Money in the Bank, and basically talk about whether or not it made history, and whether or not it left us speechless. I don't know how I'm going to title the video, but you guys will indeed see the title when it goes up. But let's get straight into it, guys. So for those who don't know, if you guys don't know anything about these, I've done these review videos for the last, like, I want to say the last like couple of years, maybe somewhere around there. Basically, what I do is I do the results video of the whole card immediately following the show. Then on that Monday, Then on that Monday, I always do a sort of like a review of the card, and I give each match a rating from 1 star from 1 star to 5 stars, and I rate the entire card itself from 1 star to 5 stars. And that's just it. That's how this works for those who are new to the channel. So we kick things off with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match that featured Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight, Santos Escobar of the LWO, Butch of the Brawling Brutes, Damian Priest of the Judgment Day, and social media megastar Logan Paul. He was actually invited to compete in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And this was, again, as I talked about in the result video, what was it just the other day on Saturday? This was basically everything we had expected from a ladder match, because we know when it comes to these ladder matches, chaos ensues, and it's just nothing but pure pain. And this match gave us quite a bit of pain, because we saw Ricochet do a 450 onto like what, 2-3 guys that were laying down on a ladder. We even also saw Logan Paul hit a frog splash onto a ladder that had Damian Priest on it, which was insane. Santos Escobar flying around, Ricochet flying around, Shinsuke Nakamura striking at everybody in his path. It was pure bedlam. And the crazy part is that the fans wanted LA Knight to win more than almost anyone else on the roster in that match. And it was crazy. It was just pure bedlam. Logan Paul even had a few opportunities, had a few chances to grab the briefcase, but it was not meant to be, as the closing moments of the match, LA Knight, Damian Priest were the final two in that match to try and grab the briefcase. Damian Priest hits LA Knight with a broken arrow from the top of the ladder and grabs the briefcase to become as he wants to be known as Senor Money in the Bank. I also do want to point out the fact that Ricochet hit a Spanish fly on Logan Paul onto 2 tables from the outside. And what's crazy is that both Logan Paul and Damian Priest actually introduced those tables to the match, which added a little more insult to injury onto Logan Paul, and he showed the scars of battle, if you will, by drawing blood, unfortunately. But honestly, though, between all 7 of these guys, honestly, I'm glad that it was Damian Priest that became Senor Money in the Bank, because the thing is that what many people seem to forget is that he's a former NXT North American champion. He's a former United States champion. He's won championships everywhere else that he's been, including Ring of Honor, from what I remember. And he's had quite a bit. He's had a lot of success in NXT, on the independent scene, and on the main roster. People have been undermining him, I guess you could say. And this is winning Money in the Bank. Excuse me. Winning Money in the Bank is probably the best thing that happened to him, because now he can cash in on pretty much anybody that he wants. He can cash in on Roman Reigns, Seth freaking Rollins, Gunther, Austin Theory, or if he wanted to, he can even also cash in on Carmelo Hayes, Wes Lee, or Nathan Frazer, who individually, Hayes has the NXT title, Wes Lee has the NXT North American title, and Frazer has the Heritage Cup. So it's possible that he could cash in on any of those champions, but that's his decision. Honestly, this was basically everything we had expected. We knew that the chaos was going to happen, and we knew that they were going to put on an instant classic I'm giving this one 4 stars. This was a hell of a banger, an absolute, probably one of the greatest men's Money in the Bank ladder matches we had seen ever in quite some time, and that's saying a lot because we've had a few of those good ones over the years, but this one might just be the best of them all. But we now move on. But again, 4 stars, plain and simple. But we now move on into the women's tag team title match between Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, the team that never lost the titles to begin with, but they were stripped of the titles because of Liv Morgan's shoulder injury, and Shayna Baszler was able to exploit that injury to the best of her abilities, of course, and it was back and forth. This was back and forth tag team wrestling, absolutely incredible. There was even a time where Ronda Rousey had an armbar applied onto Raquel Rodriguez, and she was on the second rope, but she countered it into a powerbomb, and right when Ronda Rousey, the closing moments of the match, right when Ronda Rousey was about to win for her team, boom, Shayna Baszler not only attacks Ronda Rousey, but applied the Karafuda clutch onto Ronda, and she walked out. She walked out, and that gave Raquel and Liv the chance to hit Ronda with a Tejada bomb and the move that Liv calls Oblivion to pick up the victory. So now Liv is the only person in WWE to have pinned Ronda Rousey 3 times. Which also means rumors. Now there's been a lot of rumors going around the last 48 hours that supposedly Ronda Rousey is leaving WWE once her contract expires. Honestly, do I see that happening? It's kind of hard to say. It's hard to say because when you really think about it, Ronda Rousey had done everything that there's to do in WWE. She's been the Raw Women's Champion. She's been the SmackDown Women's Champion. She's won the Royal Rumble. She main evented WrestleMania. And again, there's been talks of her potentially leaving WWE. Honestly, if she does leave WWE, and she does so when her contract expires, honestly, I think it would probably be okay for her to leave, because again, she's already done everything that there's to do in WWE. But knowing Ronda, she'll probably take time off away from WWE and then come back within about a year or so or whatever, and she'll win another title and she'll go from there. That's just how I see it. But again, sorry guys, I knocked my desk. There we go. Sorry guys, I knocked my desk over. Yeah, again, that's what will most likely happen, but who knows? Honestly, this match was pretty good. The ending was basically everything that a lot of the fans didn't expect, because they were expecting Ronda and Shayna retaining the titles, but Liv and Raquel picked up the victory. I'm giving this one 3 stars. This was actually pretty good. The way it ended though was a bit unexpected, but it is what it is. Next up, we move on into the Intercontinental title match between Gunther and the original bro Matt Riddle. This was a hell of a crazy excuse me. This was a And this was basically an instant classic, because we knew that both Matt Riddle and Gunther had both faced off against one another, not just on NXT UK, not just in NXT stateside, but also in so many promotions over the years, that the rivalry just continued, and it kind of escalated a bit further. What was it, last week, a couple weeks ago, where Gunther injured Matt Riddle's ankle, and Gunther was able to exploit that throughout the entire match. But not only that, Matt Riddle had somewhat a little bit of offense. He had maybe one or two near falls where he came this close from becoming champion, but unfortunately Gunther was able to defeat Matt Riddle by literally chopping Matt Riddle's ankle, his foot, and applying a heel hook onto Riddle to retain the Intercontinental title. But it wasn't long, not long after that, just seconds later, minutes later, we hear the music and Drew McIntyre is back. We hadn't seen him since we hadn't seen him since WrestleMania, and obviously Drew is after the Intercontinental title, and there is a lot of questions that are left unanswered, and one of the biggest questions of them all is Drew McIntyre going to challenge Gunther at SummerSlam? That right there is the big question. I think so. I think he is. But at the same time, I truly believe that we might end up getting a triple threat, just like we did at WrestleMania. But this time, instead of Sheamus, it's Matt Riddle. But of course, I could be wrong. But this match, 3.5 stars easy. I think this match, just like WrestleMania, this match also proved that Gunther does not need Imperium to help him retain the title, and I think that's what makes Gunther arguably one of the best heels we have in WWE right now. He is a man of honor, a man of respect. He respects this business more than anyone else, and he knows that he can defeat anybody without having any member of Imperium backing him up. I will say though, he's probably one of the greatest probably one of the greatest Intercontinental champions that we've had thus far. I would say since The Miz. And that's saying a lot, because Miz is an 8-time champion. So, there's a lot. So, that's saying a lot. Given the fact that The Miz is an 8-time champion, Gunther has reached the level of legendary status. And he could retire tomorrow and still get inducted into the Hall of Fame with his long run as Intercontinental Champion. That's how I see it. But again, this match, 3.5 stars, easy. But not only did we see the return of Drew McIntyre, we also saw the return of John Cena, which took place after this match that featured Cody Rhodes and Dominic Mysterio. Obviously, we knew that Dom had no shot of winning. This was probably one of the worst matches that Cody's ever worked thus far. But I am gonna give this match not 2 stars. I am gonna give this match 3 stars because of the fact that Cody Rhodes was finally able to put Dom in his place after all of the cheap shots that Dom has given to has given to Cody, and I truly believe that the way this match ended, it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. This proved that Dom is not ready still for that high-level premium live event match, such as Money in the Bank or such as a SummerSlam. Even, you know, as a singles competitor, as a tag team competitor, you know, alongside his father, yes, obviously he was ready, but this is a different version of Dominic Mysterio. He's at a point now where he's become nothing more than an entitled little bitch. And honestly, I don't think he's ready. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, you guys, obviously you guys can post in the comments spewing out your disagreements on that. But if you guys want to agree, you can also comment that as well. But we even also saw the return of John Cena, saying that WrestleMania should be in London. I'm all for it. Let's make it happen. Grayson Waller comes out and says, why not do it in Australia instead? It was a very crazy promo. But Grayson Waller wanted John Cena to be on Grayson's talk show, The Grayson Waller Effect. And Grayson Waller decides to jump John Cena from behind, but he got hit with an attitude adjustment, and Cena walked off, ending that segment. Which anytime you get a John Cena segment, especially in today's WWE, you know it's gonna be a classic. This one, that segment was an easy 4 stars because it's John Cena. It's the fucking GOAT. He is the greatest of all time, 16-time world champion, 5-time US champion, 4-time tag team champion, 2-time Royal Rumble winner, Money in the Bank. He's done it all. He's been in more movies and TV shows and in more video games than any other person in WWE. So that right there says a lot. But we move on into the women's Money in the Bank ladder match that featured Zelina Vega of the LWO, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Bayley of Damage Control, Io Sky of Damage Control, and the Hall of Famer Trish Stratus. Honestly, this was basically another instant classic. This one we knew of the pure chaos. We knew that Becky Lynch was going to go after Zoe Stark and Trish Stratus. She even also went after Damage Control as well, with all the hell that they put her through over the course of the last year. And it was incredible. It was incredible. We even also saw Zelina Vega become the highlight of the whole match. Literally the star of the match. Code Red to Zoe Stark onto a ladder, and throwing caution to the wind on every single person in the match, including Trish Stratus, including Bayley, including Io Sky. Absolutely incredible. We even also saw Becky Lynch damn near get handcuffed to the ring to prevent her from winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, and it was incredible. The closing moments of the match, we saw Io Sky handcuff both Bayley and Becky Lynch to one another, and they were through the ladder. They were through the rungs of the ladder, which allowed Io Sky to climb the ladder and grab hold of the women's Money in the Bank briefcase. She even... Now, funny thing is that Io Sky said... I think either Bayley or Io, one of them said on the Money in the Bank press conference that that even though Io won the match, it's basically Damage Control's victory. So who knows? We don't know if Bayley's gonna hog that spotlight like she always does, or if she's planning to give Io that opportunity to cash in the briefcase and go from there. But as far as Priest goes, there's no telling what he's going to do. Only time will tell. But shoutouts to both of them. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match, 4.5 stars easy. I never thought I would ever see anything like that. It was incredible. But speaking of instant classics, these next two were exactly that. Seth freaking Rollins, Finn Balor, the World Heavyweight title, 7 years in the making. Now, 7 years ago, right around this time, 7 years ago, I did my predictions for SummerSlam, and I made my predictions on who would win between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. And funny enough is that Balor came in as the Demon. He brought his alter ego, the Demon, with him, and he was able to pick up the victory. And if I remember correctly, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I said that I wanted. I think I predicted Rollins to win, or maybe Finn. I think it was Seth Rollins if I remember correctly, but Finn Balor ended up picking up the victory. And I will admit, you look at SummerSlam 2016, you think of the matches, that were on the card. Rollins and Balor, Lesnar and Orton, AJ Styles and John Cena, Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler. You look at all those matches and they were instant classics. A lot of them were instant classics. But this one right here, this match right here from this past Saturday, was basically 7 years in the making. Balor thinks, was under the impression that Rollins took everything from him, but that's the thing. The injury, it was an accident. Balor knew that the injury was an accident, but Balor decided, especially over the last few weeks, even at Money in the Bank, even during that match, exploited the ribs and just kept targeting them and targeting them and targeting them and targeting them. And this was an instant classic. We knew it was going to be brutal. We knew that it was going to be a fight, but it was an instant classic. And right when Rollins was about to win over Finn Balor, out comes Damian Priest with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and Priest had no intentions of cashing in. He just wanted to let Rollins know, hey, you see this briefcase? I got it. I can cash in on your dumbass if I want to. Obviously, Balor had a few more shots in on Rollins, and the match ended with Seth Rollins hitting Balor with a massive stomp, picking up the 1, 2, 3, and obviously Finn Balor was not happy about it because of the fact that Priest came out, and apparently according to Balor, Priest cost Balor the World Heavyweight title. But aside from all that, this match, 4 stars easy, absolutely incredible. But I will admit, it's interesting because when you think about it, this was the best version of both Seth Rollins and Finn Balor that we had seen compared to what we saw 7 years ago, if you really think about it. Absolutely incredible. Shoutouts to Rollins, who there's no telling what's going to be next for him. Only time will tell. But we move on into the main event, which was probably one of the greatest matches in the history of the Money in the Bank Premium Live event. The Bloodline Civil War between the Usos and the team of Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. This was interesting because we knew that at some point the cracks within the Bloodline was going to come out. We knew it was going to happen at some point. But you guys are probably wondering, when exactly did this happen? This actually happened all the way back in War Games. Think about this. This happened back in November last year at Survivor Series inside of War Games. Think about that. Think about that, guys. Survivor Series inside of War Games. This featured the Bloodline versus the Brawling Brutes. The Brawling Brutes featured Sheamus, Ridge Holland, Butch, Drew McIntyre, and Kevin Owens. The Bloodline obviously featured Roman, Solo Sikoa, the Usos, and Sami Zayn, who was the honorary Us at that time. The crazy thing about this is that, if I remember correctly, and I did the results of this card. If I remember correctly, it started with I believe Jey Uso and Butch. And then I believe the Brawling Brutes gained the War Games advantage, so I believe Ridge Holland came into the fold, and then Sami Zayn came, and then originally Jimmy Uso was supposed to have helped his brother, but Roman was like, Sammy, you get your ass in there. And that was when the cracks really started to show. Even though, yes, the Bloodline did win, with Sami Zayn giving Kevin Owens to Jey Uso, there was so many cracks. Roman Reigns was had started to get paranoid. It was just insane. But it doesn't just go to Survivor Series. This actually goes to Crown Jewel with Logan Paul. And what's even more crazy is that the cracks, there was like a small crack within the Bloodline right after War Games. Once we got into the Royal Rumble, once we got into the road to the Royal Rumble, that's when the cracks started to open real slowly. And once Sami Zayn hit Roman Reigns with that chair, that's when the cracks showed completely. And then WrestleMania came. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are now the tag team champions, and we enter this: the Bloodline Civil War. The Bloodline imploded, absolutely insane. This was everything. We knew that there was a lot of shit that happened. We knew that the fans were going to boo the living hell out of Roman, and you guys know when it comes to London, they love having fun. They love having fun, so they were chanting, if you hate Roman, stand up, and then if you hate Roman, sit down. That is how much fun the fans were having, pissing off Roman Reigns, which was amazing. I loved it. I loved every second of it. But I will admit, shockingly enough, Roman Reigns and Solo actually got along in this match the same way they did at Night of Champions, which is kind of crazy. But what's even more interesting was that Roman and Solo had only teamed up only one other time, which was again at Night of Champions. The Usos, they've teamed up for years, since day one, and we knew that Roman Reigns had not been pinned for what was it, 1,397 days? Literally, over 3.5 years, excuse me, that he had not been pinned or been made to submit. Think about that, guys. Think about that. Absolutely wild. It is absolutely wild. This was back and forth, absolutely just pure chaos, and the closing moment, there was like so many moments that Roman came close to winning. Solo hitting Jimmy Uso with a spike, Jey Uso getting hit with a spike and a spear by Roman and Solo. He stacks up both Usos. 1, 2, both Usos kicked out. Jey Uso ends up getting hit with a spear, and right when the referee's hand was about to go down for 3, 1, 2, it was not just any ordinary kick out. It was a low blow. A low blow. Roman Reigns got hit with a low blow, and the referee knew nothing about it. Jey Uso he did his homework. He learned his lesson from their first encounter at Clash of Champions 3 years ago. Think about that, guys. Think about that. And right, just when you think it was gonna be all over for the Usos, they were gonna lose. That did not come to pass. Solo got sent through a table. The Usos had Roman Reigns defenseless as hell, a plethora of super kicks, Jey Uso hitting Roman with a splash. 1, 2, 3. And after almost 4 years, Roman Reigns got pinned for the first time ever, proving that Roman Reigns is not invincible. He is not inhuman. He is indeed a human. And the Bloodline Civil War has come to a close. This match, 5 stars easy. I was in shock by how it ended, because I was under the impression that Roman and Solo were gonna win, but the Usos ended up picking up that victory, which now leaves more questions for the Bloodline than ever before. And the big question is, where does Roman Reigns go from here? What's next for Roman? What's next for Solo? Does he leave Roman Reigns and join up with his brothers? Does he go back to NXT and try to chase after the NXT North American title? Because let's not forget, his main roster call-up, a lot of people considered it to be way too soon, and even I still think that. So many questions, more questions, less answers. This match, 5 stars easy. The entire card, 4.5 stars. I was in shock by each of these matches and how they ended. It was insane. It was absolutely wild. But once again, that brings me to the question of the day. Which superstar was the superstar of the night? Let me know down in the comments below. And that will do it for this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.